Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel FreeCAD Fun for the today practice. Okay, let's check this new practice. I will create the basic shape of rectangle with the half cylinder, and then there is support and the small cylinder, and then the last two holes. So now go to FreeCAD. Let's go to the workbench, part design, create body, create sketch, and then click for the plan. Okay, now let's create the basic surface with the height of 100 and then the radius of 35 and then the thickness of 100. Okay, I'll go to the rectangular. Okay, now click this 2 point with the vertical axis and then create symmetry, and then click for the vertical dimension. Now insert 100 millimeter. Okay, and then create this white for 70 millimeter. Okay, now create for the Arcus. Let's center this axis and then create this point until this point. Okay, now create this radius 35. Okay, now click this circle with this line and then create tangent. Okay, now the sketch is green, but we don't need this sketch, so I will cut and then cut here. Okay, and then delete this. So we can create dimension in this line 70 millimeter, and then create this dimension or with this dimension. Okay, now so sketch fully constrained. Now we can close the sketch. Okay, now we can create pad with the length of 100 millimeter. So go to the pad and then create length for 100 millimeter. Okay, now the basic shape is created. I will create for the lightness Okay, and then create for color using emerald, and then color brown. Okay, close, and then for the next we can create cut with this sketch. Okay, now this face, create sketch, and then create circle. Okay, now first go to the external geometry, and then click this point with this point into one. Okay, now go to the diameter inside 20 millimeter, and then the outside diameter 36 millimeter. So create this diameter 36 millimeter. Okay, and then create inner circle for the diameter 20 millimeter. Okay, so another, create rectangle here, with the thickness 40 millimeter, and then thickness here also 14 millimeter. Okay, now let's create the rectangle. Okay, so create this point with this point and the axis for symmetry, and then create horizontal dimension for 14 millimeter. Okay, oops, sorry. Now first create external. Okay, is to the face, and then create this point with this line for the dimension 14, height 14. Okay, now we can cut this line, cut the circle, and delete this. Okay, so the inside sketch already created. Now we can create the outside circle. Now we can create this circle, and then create rectangle. Okay, now delete this line. Okay, and then cut this half circle, cut this and cut. Okay, so you can check the 2 degrees for the radius. Okay, nothing happened. Can check again. Okay, for the dimension 70 millimeter. Okay, and then vertical dimension 65. Okay, now sketch fully constrained, so we can check and close first the sketch. Let's see, check the drawing. Oh, we have the thickness here, so I think the sketches have to repair. So this is the line here to here, and then this line. Okay, now cut this line, this line, also cut this line and cut this line, and delete this line. Also cut this line, or delete. Okay, so we can check for the degree. Okay, now we can delete this dimension, create new dimension. Okay, this dimension and this dimension. Okay, maybe this point to this point. Okay, so check again, this point to this point, 14, maybe this line, 28. Okay, check again, this radius 35. Okay, maybe check again. Okay, this point to this horizontal axis, dimension 14 millimeter. Okay, now maybe this line with this circle, tangent. Okay, So now the sketch is green. Can close the sketch. Now we can create pocket with the depth 100 minus 14, so 86. Okay, now create pocket with the reverse direction. Sorry, it's the right direction. And then we can use dimension 86 for the depth. Okay, let's try. Okay, I think it's good. Okay, now we can create the cut is here to this position, so we can check for the length of cylinder 30 millimeter. Okay, now create this face, or maybe use the plan. Let's say unhide the plan. We can use the EAZ plan. So we hide this plan, hide this plan, hide the axis, hide the axis, and hide the axis. Use the space. Okay. Okay. Now left only YZ plan. So click this plan and then click sketch, and then we can create polyline. Okay, we use this position to this position, and then this position to this point. Okay, create this external geometry. Okay, now this point to this external geometry, we can use fixed constraint, and then use external geometry, and then create this point with this line of external geometry. We can create fixed constraint. Now we can create this line with this point for the dimension. Okay, dimension 30 millimeter. Okay, so now we can check for the degree. So create this dimension, let's say 56. Okay, this dimension 70. Okay, so okay, this point with this point into one. Okay, now sketch fully constrained. We can close the sketch. Okay, now this is the sketch for cutting this area. Okay, Now we can hide the plane, and we can create pocket with the symmetric plane, and then we can check for this diameter 36. So create dimension for 36 millimeter. Okay, now this is the cutter. Okay, let's check. Okay, so can check to the drawing. I think it's the same. Okay, now this shape has been created. Now the last one is the hole. Okay, now click this face and then click sketch, and then we create circle. Okay, click the external geometry, point with this line for the position dimension 34. Okay, this also 34, and then click this external geometry. With the dimension, this point with this line for dimension 14. Okay, okay, let's check 14. 70 minus 28, 42. We can create this dimension, this point with this point, for 42 millimeter. Okay, now click this circle and then this circle for the diameter 15 millimeter. Yes, for 15 millimeter. Okay, now the sketch fully constrained. Can close the sketch and create pocket. Let's check for the pocket. Use tool first. Okay, think it's good. Click OK. Now the hole is created. So I think it's already finished for the practice. Okay, thanks for watching. See you again in the next practice. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.